Nitin, uh, firstly, the delay. Well, we were expecting the press conference to take place at 12:30. The meeting went for far too long. Is there something that you're picking up? Why exactly the delay? Were there any a couple of names that the BCCI was mulling over for far too long?
Well, Harshit, if you go by the BCCI mail which we received yesterday, that says that the meeting is approximately will be held around 12:30. But there was a delay, of course. What I'm hearing from my source is that there was a huge debate, on Jasprit Bumrah's availability for England ODI matches. Of course, I mean we know that Jasprit Bumrah was injured during Australia series. But his presence for the Champions Trophy was very crucial for the selectors, and we know, I mean, the bowling unit, runs around Jasprit Bumrah. So selectors wanted to be very sure if they are picking Jasprit Bumrah for Champions Trophy and how workload. I mean, his workload should be managed, nicely. Will he be available for the England ODI series as well? So there was a debate over that. So that is why Harshit Rana is being is grouped with Jasprit Bumrah for ODIs against England. But as far as the Champions Trophy squad is concerned, of course, Rohit Sharma is going to captain. Gill has been given vice captaincy. Kohli, of course, is there. Iyer is there. KL Rahul, he again, there was some concern for KL Rahul because we know that he was injured. But Akshar Patel, Sundar, Kuldeep Yadav. Kuldeep Yadav's, presence for Champions Trophy is again going to be very important because we know how the Dubai pitch.
Okay, so Mohammad Shami and Jasprit Bumrah, that's a duo that the Indian cricket fans have been very eager to see. Remember when they played in tandem, India made it to the final of the World Cup. Unfortunate what happened on the 19th of November, eventually with Australia winning. However, it's going to be the first time that in an ODI tournament that the two will be playing together. However, it is still precarious how things stand as far as this duo is concerned. There's one who's making a comeback after a long time, and on the other side, you have somebody you don't have utmost clarity over with regards to fitness. What will be crucial as far as Jasprit Bumrah is concerned is how he fares in the England series. The BCCI wanted one thing, and that is to see how he match fit or not. That is something that they wanted. They want him to play one of the 3 ODIs that India is slated to play against England, and get that sense of surety. But we'll have to wait and see how things play out. The one other notable feature over here as far as the team announcement is concerned is Shubman Gill being given the vice captaincy. Now that is something that needs to be looked at carefully. Let me in fact get more perspective on that from Nitin Srivastava. Nitin, we have seen in the past Shubman Gill has been dropped, maybe in albeit in the shortest format of the game, but this should be a big confidence booster for Shubman Gill. There were questions as well whether he will face questions in the ODI format as well. Yashasvi Jaiswal's done much better than him in the game's longest format, but vice captaincy now with Shubman Gill, that should be a huge confidence booster for him.
See, I mean, Harshit, as of now, if you look at the, your 11 for Champions Trophy, I think Gill will be important because we know, the opening pair, it roams around Jaiswal, it roams around Gill, it roams around Rohit Sharma. So for Champions Trophy, if selectors have chosen, Gill over Jaiswal, I think they are thinking that Gill should be given one more opportunity to show the his talent because Gill is someone who can you rely on, and I think it is a right call to give opportunity to Gill. We have seen his performances in ODI as well. I know there was a bit down period for him, but again, I think this opening pair is going to do wonder for Team India as far as the Champions Trophy is concerned. And also, you have backup of Virat Kohli. Of course, the numbers of Virat Kohli. I don't need to tell people. Everyone knows that how big player is Virat Kohli. But you can say, in Test matches we have seen in Australia that there was complete silence from his back. There was just one good inning from him when he
Right.
scored 100. But again, when it comes to ODI, you have to have Virat Kohli in your team. You have to have Suresh Iyer in your team. Again, there was a discussion over KL Rahul as well that how exactly he is going to fit in the team,
Right.
because he was
Let me quickly,
injured.
Nitin, tell our viewers what is it that Chief Selector Ajit Agarkar is saying as far as Jasprit Bumrah is concerned. He says that we are waiting on Jasprit Bumrah's fitness and we will know his status in early February. Now that is important because that's exactly the time that you start playing ODIs as well with England. Let me in fact tell you when is it that the series starts. It is from the 6th of February that the series against England starts. Now it coincides with the time that you're looking at Jasprit Bumrah's fitness update to also come in. The expectation is that he plays at least one of the 3 matches, but look at how the timelines are extremely close. 11th of February is still when you can make changes to the squad. The 12th of February is the last ODI that India will be playing. So it could be a case that Jasprit Bumrah plays the 3rd ODI or maybe not, and then the BCCI will have to take the route, because if they don't get to see or know anything about Jasprit Bumrah till that time, there's a difference of just 1 day. 11th is when you need to make changes to the provisional squad. After that, if you miss that deadline, you will have to go through the ICC technical committee and get requisite approvals to be able to make any changes to the squad. But if Jasprit Bumrah is just about fit, let's say towards the fag end of the England series, then the last match happens on the 12th of February. So it's touch and go. Things are still very precariously poised as far as Jasprit Bumrah is concerned. We know he's undergoing treatment. He has been in consultation with the same doctor that had operated his back a couple of years back, and we know how long a time it took for Jasprit Bumrah to make his way back into international cricket. He was rushed in, remember, midway through a T20I series, it got cut short for him, and then the recovery took much longer for Jasprit Bumrah. So the BCCI is being extremely cautious for now as far as the Champions Trophy provisional squad is concerned. Jasprit Bumrah does make it to the 15-member squad that's been named by Chief Selector Ajit Agarkar. He's still addressing the press conference in Mumbai. Alongside him is Captain Rohit Sharma. Now, in case there were any doubts whether or not Rohit Sharma will be the man leading India in the Champions Trophy, well, those doubts were anyway laid on the eve of this mega press conference when we were told that Rohit Sharma will be joining in capacity of the captain alongside Ajit Agarkar for this press conference. So that is something we knew. The one thing that we have gotten to know so far in this press conference, which is still ongoing, it's only 10 minutes in, what we do know now is that Shubman Gill will be the vice captain. Now, things haven't gone his way as far as Shubman Gill is concerned, but that is in the red ball format. Now, what the selectors have done over here is they've kept things differently. They've looked at his form in the game's longest format differently to how things have played out for him in the white ball format. So they've not mixed the two formats. He's had a very good time with in 50 over cricket, and that's what the selectors have kept in mind, and that's why in fact repose the faith in Shubman Gill. Remember, you've looked at Shubman Gill as Virat Kohli's successor. Although for all the cricket that Shubman Gill has played till now, maybe that expectation hasn't been met so far, but even then the BCCI remains confident and have trusted Shubman Gill to not just be part of this squad, but have also given him vice captaincy as far as the Champions Trophy squad is concerned. However, that does viewers also point to one more player, and that is the player that's been pushing Shubman Gill across all 3 formats, and that is Yashasvi Jaiswal. Let's tell you a little bit about Yashasvi Jaiswal. Now, we know he was India's most prolific batter down under in the series against Australia. He had the best returns. But Yashasvi Jaiswal is yet to make his ODI debut. He hasn't done that yet. Whether he will be given preference over Shubman Gill, chances of that look less now. I say that for a reason, because Shubman Gill has been given the vice captaincy. Now, it doesn't quite seem like a scenario as things stand where the vice captain will be made to sit on the bench and Yashasvi Jaiswal be given preference. But in Yashasvi Jaiswal, as far as this 15 is concerned, India have a very good backup option. The only one backup opener that India have gone ahead with is Yashashvi Jaiswal. Let me get the thoughts of my colleague Nitin Srivastava, who's joining me live right now from the India Today studios. Nitin, it does look like, when you look at the 15, it does look like a promising squad. What are your thoughts when we talk about the 15 that India have named for the Champions Trophy?
Well, of course, Harshit, there is no doubt, and that is what we were expecting from selection panel. There was a detailed meeting to pick up these guys because it is a prestigious tournament. And if you look at your combination, Rohit Sharma, of course, your captain is there, Gill is there in vice captaincy role, and again Kohli. Kohli's presence in the team himself says that how exactly your team is gearing up for the biggest tournament. We have won T20 in the last year, but this is time to shift the gear in ODIs, and that is why you are playing 3 ODIs before that with England. The catch is Jasprit Bumrah's availability, for the ODI series. If selectors have chosen Jasprit Bumrah subject to fitness asterisks, it means that somehow selectors are also keeping an eye on his availability, keeping in mind his fitness, because nobody wants to risk Jasprit Bumrah as far as the Champions Trophy is concerned. So in my view, this is going to be a tough team against all the opponents in Champions Trophy. And before that, if Team India is going to do well in the ODI series against England, that would be an added advantage for Team India. You have Kuldeep in your team, you have Akshar Patel in your team, and especially Pant is in your team, Jadeja in your team. So it is somehow, I think, a good combination, and you can form your 11 very easily.
Yeah.
Right now, if you ask anyone who follows cricket, he can pick your 11 very easily. If you ask me, I think the big question will be again on Jasprit Bumrah's availability for ODIs, because
there is one thing though, Nitin, there is one thing though that's not quite straightforward when you make the 11. Let me try and put you in the spot. There are 3 spin bowling all-rounders that India have named in the squad of 15. There's Akshar, there is Jadeja, and there is Washington Sundar. Practically speaking, I don't see a scenario wherein more than 2 of them are played in the same 11. Pick the 2 that you think are going to be there in the India 11.
I mean, it's a great question, but I think choosing spinners is not that important, but to choose your right formation of pacers. I know that Hardik Pandya is there. He is all-rounder. Again, Jadeja, in the same situation. But I think Kuldeep should be given priority over Akshar Patel, because he's a wrist arm spinner, and he can add those wickets when you are chasing for wickets. So I think 3 pacers, 2 spinners, because we have Hardik again in your team. So he is going to manage and balance your squad. But my doubt and my biggest concern is that how Indian batting lineup is going to perform in the Champions Trophy and also in the upcoming ODI series. We have seen a complete silence from the top order batsmen, especially Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli in the Australian tour for BJT. So I really love to see the Indian players batting well in the ODI series and carrying that confidence to the Champions Trophy. That is going to be a major added booster for Team India. Right now, selectors have done their task. They have picked the guys. It is up to the guys, it is up to the players that how exactly they are going to showcase their skill. We were very close in 23 when we were playing final, and we lost that. So that is something you have to convert in the Champions Trophy. You have to showcase your talent. That is the team which worlds talk about, that this is Indian team, as great batting lineup, great combination of bowlers. So you have to do well, keeping all the statics, keeping all the conditions and everything in mind. This is your team, and you have to find your best winning 11 from out of these 15.
The one other thing, Nitin, that's quite noticeable about this squad is the fact that there aren't a lot of changes from the side that was fielded for the 2023 World Cup. There was no Rishabh Pant available then. That's the one change that I see. And it's good in a way that the Indian team has stuck to what was for the longest time. For all those games that India won on the trot, they've stuck to the winning formula and not been swayed by what's happened in the game's longest format.
Well, of course, see, Rishabh Pant wasn't available at that time, but I mean, when he is playing all these matches, Test cricket, T20s, you have to have Rishabh Pant in your team. But again, there was a debate over Sanju Samson, that's why he is not there. Leave it behind. I think this is time to discuss and think about the performances of Indian teams, especially the batting lineup, because There was a silence, as I already mentioned. As of now, you have to talk about your opening pair. Shubman Gill, Rohit Sharma. Rohit Sharma wasn't in a great form in Australia, so he have to have do some a good job over there when you are playing to Bangladesh and then Pakistan in Champions Trophy. Rohit Sharma's responsibility is much bigger because there was a huge debate on his availability for for test matches and everything. But now focus has shifted to ODI cricket, and in ODIs, Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli are the great players. World have seen all these players doing well. So again, I think if you ask me to pick 11 from these 15, I'll pick Rohit Sharma, Gill, Kohli, Shreyas Iyer, KL, of course, Hardik, and now there is a catch. Whom do you want to pick? Akshar Patel, Kuldeep Yadav. I think I'll pick Kuldeep Yadav, and then of course Bumrah, Shami, Arshdeep, and then you have Jadeja over there. So this is your team. But again, the important thing is, and the key is, the great performances by the the superstars of our Indian team. Rohit Sharma should have to take some responsibility. Virat Kohli again, he'll have to take responsibility to perform and give message that I am Virat Kohli. What I have done. Look at my numbers. I mean, Virat Kohli is a great Indian batter in this generation. So you have to have do well over there. And if you ask me, I would love to go with 4 pacer. I mean, this is what a key. Which is a winning formula for Indian team. If you have 6 bowlers as in 2 pacer and 2 spinners, and you have Hardik Pandya as well as an all-rounder. Jadeja is there as an all-rounder. So it is I think it's a great formula to have more pacers, and then as per situation demands, you can have 2 spinners in your team.
Right. Also, the inclusion of all 3 spin bowling all-rounders that were in contention, I believe that's to do with the conditions in Dubai. The one thing is that India will be playing all their 3 group stage matches and the 2 other matches as well if they do proceed to the semi-final and the final, all of them in Dubai. Now we know conditions can be a bit sluggish over there. That sort of explains the inclusion of all 3 available spin bowling all-rounders.
Well, of course, I mean, conditions in Dubai is not like very greeny top wicket. It is going to be a slowish one, just like, Wankhede Stadium or at the wicket like Ahmedabad. It is not going to be a very pacey wicket. So, your pacers can do well over there. And why I'm saying Kuldeep Yadav, because I have seen Kuldeep over there and he can do really well for the Team India. He's a wrist spinner, and we know how crucial his role will be in the Champions Trophy. So, I mean, as far as the conditions are concerned, I think Indian team would really want to go with 4 pacer. And if Rohit Sharma feels that he can manage with 3, pacers and 2 spinner, and because you have already 2 all-rounders in your squad, then he can manage over there. I mean, as far as the bowling unit is concerned. But again, my point is, Harshit, that India's batting lineup should be in very good shape. No injury, nothing. That is why I'm saying be very cautious when you are planning your 11, especially the top order, middle order, because that is your key. In Champions Trophy, you cannot take risk. If you're risking, I think it is not going to be a very good sign for Team India. So it is time for Rohit Sharma, for head coach Gautam Gambhir to think on and decide a great winning combination for Champions Trophy, keeping all the conditions and the other factors in mind. I think batting should take responsibility to think turn things in around in your favor.
Very, very quickly, Nitin, we're running out of time. What is your little body telling you right now? In terms of pace bowling all rounders, there was one other name that was being mentioned on social media at least, and that was Nitish Kumar Reddy. He impressed in Australia. He got that century as well. But did he make enough noise to be part of the discussion that took place today, and a long discussion at that?
Well, Harshit, I think as of now, there was no noise about Nitish Reddy, because we have seen him doing well, and a small contribution, a big inning from Nitish Reddy in the Border Gavaskar Trophy. But again, when it comes to ODI, I think it's too early, for him to jump in the ODI's squad. I think selectors, of course, they are keeping eye on Nitish Reddy. I think he'll be given opportunity in next tournaments. But for Champions Trophy, I think selectors have done a right job, and they have picked a right combination, which may do well for Indian side.
That's right. Also, the one name Nitin that has been doing the rounds and has been making a lot of buzz is the man who has an average of in excess of 700 right now. And I'm talking about Karun Nair. There have been experts who've been saying that he should have been considered, he should have been included. You know, you don't get these numbers very easily. Sachin Tendulkar on the eve of the squad announcement lavished praise on Karun Nair. As far as the team discussion is concerned, the selectors discussion is concerned, was Karun Nair also a name that came up?
Harshit, I think there was a discussion on Karun Nair, but again, when you have already, fixed players in your squad, it is very tough for selectors to ask someone to sit down and I am, replacing your name with someone else. And this is the biggest headache for selectors. I have covered many, team selection meetings, and when the selectors comes out and we directly ask them that why this player is not there, why he is inside in the squad. It is again a very tough task for selectors to choose someone or to drop someone. And for players like Nitish Reddy, for players like Karun Nair, it is again very tough task for the player, for the selectors to or to pick or not to pick. It is always about to pick your best combination. I'm not saying that Karun Nair is not a good player or Nitish Reddy is not a good player, but it is all about picking your players, keeping all the scenarios in mind, especially the conditions, especially the slots you have, whom you will drop. I think if you ask me, are you going to drop KL Rahul, are you going to drop Shubman Gill, or are you going to drop Hardik Pandya? I mean, you cannot drop these players. So that is why some players have to wait for their turn, and that is what has happened in today's selection meeting as far as Karun and Nitish Reddy are concerned.
The Indian squad is out. I want to thank my colleague Nitin for breaking down the Indian squad for the Champions Trophy. Thank you so much, Nitin, for your insights. We'll keep tracking as it's a developing story. We're still unsure as far as Jasprit Bumrah's availability is concerned. It comes with an asterisk mark. He's been named in the provisional squad. Remember, changes can be made till the 11th of February, but we'd hope for this Indian team to do well. You need Jasprit Bumrah to be there, and we hope that he remains fit, he plays in that England series, and then eventually in all those 5 matches, if India are to play all 5 for the Indian team in the Champions Trophy as well. I'm going to wrap this bulletin now. Thank you so much, but stay tuned to India Today. There's more coming your way.